The 80s guys, 80s and 90s video world. Boom, 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 boom. Episode 6. Big time for burger time. I'm sorry, that tune from BurgerTime is so addictive. Anyway, hey everybody, I'm the one, the only Tidy 80s guy, and welcome to episode 6 of Tidy 80s Guys, 80s and 90s Video World. We have another great Friday night 80s and 90s party dedicated to one of the greatest arcade and video games of all time. It is Data East 1982 classic BurgerTime. We've also got cakes, cupcakes, and Giovanni's Pizza with the arcade and video game logos for BurgerTime, along with Peter Pepper, the chef that you play as, and the food foes, Mr. Hot Dog, Mr. Pickle, and Mr. Egg, who chase after you. Of course, you can have any kind of burger that you want from the Magic Dock fridge. And Huey, Lewis, and the News will be back here in a little while to do another mini concert. Yay! And that's not all, as you will be able to play BurgerTime on a variety of game systems, PC, and cell phones. Yay! We're also going to be looking at different memorabilia from the game, and we will eventually be going back into Tidy 80s Guys, great 80s and 90s arcade, so I can play some BurgerTime and try to beat my high score. Oh, and at the end of this episode, we have a great preview of the next episode, and it is bigger and better than anything we've done. It is the event of the season, so be sure to check that out. As for my shirt, it is bright orange for the BurgerTime arcade logo and the color of the machine. And there's other people around here who actually have real BurgerTime shirts on. This has just got candy corn on it. Sorry, I did not have any time, TYME, to get a BurgerTime shirt. And they're kind of expensive at $25 and up, and I had to spend it on other things for these videos. So with all that being said, we're going to be rocketing forward to the next segment. It's the great 80s and 90s contest! I'm going to make this really short and sweet like the candy corn on my shirt. And that's that I've changed the contest again. And it is moved exclusively to Facebook. So if you look underneath this video in the comments section, you'll find the new rules. And it is still for Huey Lewis and the News Greatest Hits new CD, and new CD of level 42 level best, and Namco Museum Virtual Arcade for Xbox 360, slightly used because I owned it and it is in very good condition. So all you have to do is go under there, read the rules, go to Facebook and add me as a friend and enter the contest. And you will have until episode 8 to enter. So I'm going to give you some extra time, and if this doesn't work, then we'll try something different. So let's move on to the next segment. The following segment is brought to you by Doc Brown's Tractor Beans. So good you'll suck them up like a boss Galaga sucks up a fighter ship. Doc Brown's Tractor Beans. And yes, at the end I did say tractor beans, not bean. So what is up with that? Well, take a look back at this short clip from last week. And the spots are pink in this one. And you guys the star background. He's trying to escape before I shoot it. Did you see that second sentence there? Tractor beam? I meant tractor beam. And the point of that little joke earlier that I came up with was that mistakes will happen, and sometimes a lot of them. But if it doesn't affect the plot of the story, just move on to the next one. I'm very much a perfectionist, so I'm very, very hard on myself sometimes, especially with spelling mistakes. But I have much bigger and much better to come than episode 5. So, hey, make mistakes, you just keep on going. Do not beat yourself up over it. It's just not worth it. So with that being said, we are going to be moving on really fast. Woo! Now I'd like to talk about how I first discovered BurgerTime, the arcade machine. It was in 1987 when I was 5 years old. And I went into the game room at Redwood Park Pool, and right there to the right of the door as you go in there is that beautiful machine. They call it mustard yellow, but to me it's more of a orangey yellow color. And it was bright red, white, and blue, and it had those really cute characters. Peter Pepper is just so cool looking. You know, he has almost sort of a Popeye look with him with those arms. He's got the big chef's hat, and he's being chased by Mr. Hot Dog, Mr. Pickle, and Mr. Egg, and their design kind of reminds me of Tom and Jerry. Very shiny looking, and, you know, expressive and funny, and a little bit creepy when you're a little kid. To me they were. And that music, oh man, that music is just very addictive, very cool, but very simplistic. But at the time I couldn't hear it because I remember hearing, might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Yeah, Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. It was one of my favorite songs from the 80s, and had that big jukebox on the other side of the door on the left as you go in there. And usually I was excited when I could hear the music and the sound effects from the game because the music drowned it out. But looking back on it, can't really have it any other way. You got to have the 80s music with the arcade games. And it was just so cool to watch people play it, the bright colors of the different burger parts and the enemies on screen, but it was all so simplistic. The sound effects were cool, but it was hard, and I could not get far on it when I was a kid. And I also remember seeing BurgerTime in Giovanni's Pizza in Granite Falls. It was right there next to a Bump and Jump arcade machine, which was another Data East game. And I was so sad when BurgerTime disappeared from Redwood Park Pool and Giovanni's Pizza. Oh, and I also remember seeing the arcade machine a third and final time in the mid-90s at Jamestown Flea Market in Morganton, North Carolina. And that's about 30 or 40 some minutes away from here, I think. So, yeah, it was on the inside flea market, because they have an outdoor as well. And I remember getting to stage 2 or pattern 2 or whatever it would be called in this game. Anyway, now it's time, TYME, to show you some memorabilia. And first off, we have some Magic Dock fridge magnets. The first one is the marquee for the Bally Midway version. And this is the one that I saw in Redwood Park Pool's game room and Giovanni's Pizza. And of course, the flea market. Look at that bright orange logo there with the blue trim around it. You know, it looks like you squirt some mustard and form some letters. Cool, isn't it? See the burger up there? And here is Peter Pepper there on the left. Give you a good close-up view of him. Got a burger in his hand running. Funny look on his face. And you see his arms and his legs are kind of like Popeye's. He's got that little knob on the knee and right there on his elbow. And he's got the P on his hat, and he has a pepper shaker in his hand. Of course, it says right there next to him, featuring Peter Pepper. Yes, I know this camera is not great. And then over here on the other side is a Mr. Hot Dog. And that's what I'm talking about, that Tom and Jerry kind of design. Mean look on his face, though, and he's coming running towards Peter Pepper with his arms outstretched, getting ready to grab him and stop him from walking over those burger parts so he can make those burgers for whoever wants to eat ginormous hamburgers. Good close-up shot of him there. Of course, you've got the blue outline around it with the red and all the white. Your red, white, and blue. Very all-American logo. It is such an honor to have BurgerTime be released the year of my birth in 1982. And next we have another marquee magnet, and it is the one from the Deco, which is Data East Corporation cabinet, which was actually run by a cassette tape. And here you go. This is a very different magnet. You've got BurgerTime there in red and yellow, and if you see a little closely there are mustard and ketchup bottles squirting the letters. That's a nice little touch. And right there on the left, on the B, you see a hamburger as part of the letter. And you see Peter Pepper over here, and he looks really weird. I'm sorry, in comparison to the Peter Pepper on the other one, look at him. His hat comes over his eyes, and his eyes peek out of his hat. Instead of a P, there's an H. The reason there's an H is because the game was originally called Hamburger in Japan. He also has a spatula there. He has no spatula in the game. Where's his pepper shaker? Now, food parts have mouths and eyes, and they look like they're running away. It's just really weird. It's not accurate artwork. It just doesn't look very nice. I like the logo. The logo is cool. But Peter Pepper didn't look right, and it looks too much like anime. And I like the more Disney or Looney Tunes approach of the other marquee. Don't you? But I do like the logo, though, and that blue in the background's nice too. And I like how the letters are outlined. So there you go, a very strange marquee. The logo on the second marquee became the logo for the home versions of BurgerTime. And here is the BurgerTime arcade screenshot magnet. And it shows Peter Pepper, Mr. Egg, and Mr. Hot Dog, and the burger parts with the ladders and platforms. And I'll show you here. There's Peter Pepper, that little guy right there, about to go up the ladder there. Mr. Egg, who's chasing him, and there's two Mr. Hot Dogs, and then there's a Mr. Hot Dog down here who has been hit with pepper, so he's stunned. So all Peter Pepper's got to do is run through him or walk across that burger part, which is lettuce, and it will fall. There's lettuce, and there's hamburger meat, and there's buns, and there's the plates on the bottom, and there's a piece that's falling right there. And there you go, BurgerTime screenshot magnet. BurgerTime became a big hit in the arcade and led to several home console versions, such as the Atari 2600, the ColecoVision, and the Intellivision. An arcade sequel called Pizza Time was also planned, but had to be scrapped due to the video game crash of 1983 and 1984. It's such a shame because that game could have continued the success of the original BurgerTime. But Data East eventually made Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory as the sequel to BurgerTime in 1984. And in this game, Peter Pepper was kicking scoops of ice cream onto ice cream cones and watching out for food foes and other enemy characters that were chasing him. In this game, he could jump. Peter Pepper looks so cool on the Bally Midway art. but they just wouldn't stick with it. And I don't understand it. It's just crazy. Peter Pepper deserves better than to be treated the way he did and just constantly have his look changed. Why couldn't they just get the Bally Midway art for all the sequels? I think the games would have done better. Anyway, moving along. Now I'm going to show you one of the pins from my BurgerTime pin collection. And it is Peter Pepper! That's how he looks like in the game. Yeah, he's an orange color, just like he is on the both versions of the marquee, but he has an H on his hat, like he did in the Japanese marquee. So H for hamburger. He's got his cute little white suit on there with the buttons and the pants and the shoes there. Give you a nice little up close view of him there. Let's move on to the next segment. Woo! Magic Duck! Magic Duck! Great Scott! It's a Magic Duck! Magic Duck Tie Talk. So, starting with this one, we're only going to be doing one Magic Dock item from now on. So, let's get on with it. And this one is dedicated to my late great mom, Penny Ann Nix. And that's because Mom used to serve this to me at Redwood Park Pool in the summertime, there in the concession stand. This is a 1987 large cup of cherry soda with shaved ice. Well, you've heard me talk about classic cherry soda with shaved ice many times already, and now I'm finally featuring it on Magic Dock Tie Talk. In the late 80s and the early to mid 90s, I would have it with my Cool Ranch Doritos, and I would sit there on the edge of the pool and drink my soda and eat my Doritos, and it was just right. Well, I told you that last time in the last episode, but there's a little bit more to it than that. We'd also just enjoy eating the ice, you know, just chewing on it or sucking on it, and other times taking that shaved ice and throwing it at other people, or even throwing it in the pool and then jumping in the pool to see how cold the water had gotten. Yes, we did crazy stuff back then. Oh, that is so good. Oh, I gotta have some more. Oh, it tastes so good. They do not make cherry soda that tastes like this anymore. They really don't. Oh, so good. Okay. So, with that being said, we are going to be moving on to the next part of the episode. Woo! It's finally time for the Huey, Lewis, and the News mini concert, and I've got them here on videophone. And I'm really sorry, guys, that I won't be able to make it tomorrow night for your concert in Charlotte. So, I've got to work at Wally World, and I've got a lot of filming to do, so I'm really sorry that I can't make it. That's okay, man. I know how busy we get sometimes, but hopefully we'll be able to come there to one of your parties soon and do a concert live. I know how pressed you are for time, TYME, so I'm going to go ahead and get started so we can finish real quickly. Here's a special little medley that I think all y'all will love. The power of love is a curious thing. Make a one man weep, make another man insane. Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need a credit card, ride this train. Strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometime, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. Bum, bum, bum. Tell me, doctor, where are we going this time? Is this the 50s? Or 1999? Rest in peace, Prince. All I wanted to do is play my harmonica and sing. So take me away, I don't mind, but you better promise me I'll be back in time. Boom. Gotta get back in time. Gotta get back in time. Woo! Woo! Huey, 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 woo! Huey, 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 woo! Thank you, everybody. But I really gotta go because Tidy 80s Guy has got a lot more to go. So have fun and lots of luck on beating your high score on BurgerTime. Bye, everybody. Ba-ba-bum-bum. It's the 80s or 90s. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Titan of the day. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Tiday's Titan is a BurgerTime wall clock. I bought this on eBay or Amazon a couple years ago, and no, it was not made in the 80s, but it features that awesome Bally Midway BurgerTime arcade machine artwork. Close-up of the clock. There's Peter Pepper there on the right, carrying a burger in his hand with that pepper shaker. Of course, he's got that big hat with the P on it. And just look at the look on his face. Isn't that funny? So cute. He's got that classic striped suit with the apron and the Mickey Mouse style shoes. And check out these enemies here. There is Mr. Egg right there with the green shoes on. Well, he and Mr. Hot Dog both have green shoes on. And Mr. Hot Dog with that evil look on his face, or that crazy look on his face, I should say. And there is Mr. Pickle, the only one who does not have arms. And look at his eyes, they're like Pac-Man shaped. It's like he hasn't fully evolved into a regular food foe. And then you have that classic BurgerTime logo with the big burger on top, just like on the machine. And you have the outline, just like the colors around the logo, red and orange, and green, and white. There's your Titan. So follow me, and we will go into Tidy 80s Guys GRRRRreat 80s and 90s Arcade to play some BurgerTime. Welcome back to Tidy 80s Guys GRRRRreat 80s and 90s Arcade. And here is my BurgerTime machine. Isn't that a beautiful arcade machine? I got that from that same local guy who doesn't want me to reveal his name. Look at this thing. It actually is a Bally Midway design almost. But do you notice anything different? Look at the marquee. It is a deco cabinet marquee, and he said this was a manufacturer's mistake. He said he was cutting me a deal because it would have been about $4,000. He dropped the price down to $2,000 because he knew how passionate I am about this game. There's Peter Pepper leaning on his pepper shaker, the big burger in his hand. Of course, he's got that classic suit on. And look at the shape of the machine. It is made to fit with the shape of the top of his hat. How cool is that? Peter Pepper sitting there very casually as two Mr. Hot Dogs are running over to attack him. Another picture of Peter Pepper there sitting on a burger. There's blue buttons there, one on the left and the right of the orange joystick. pepper buttons. And look at that. It's got 4 orange colored fingers that point up, down, left, and right, you know, to match with Peter Pepper's skin color. And then you've got one burger or a double burger right there to indicate 1 or 2 players. And you got all kinds of instructions there. On the left you have Peter Pepper standing on top of a burger part and with his pepper shaker, and then there's Mr. Hot Dog on the right side. So Mr. Hot Dog is definitely the leader of this bunch. Little orange feet down there. And the Galaga machine I showed you in last episode actually has bright green. And so, let's play this machine. Oh, well, not quite yet. I've got to get some fuel in my system because I'm getting very sleepy. Kids, don't try this at home. So good, so good. I can't play Burger Time like this. Yeah, I gotta go wash my hands, then I'll definitely play some Burger Time. Now that I've had my pre-Burger Time Burger Time with a regular Wendy's cheeseburger and all that A&W root beer and washed my hands so they're all clean, it's time for the real Burger Time. So let's drop my quarter in here like Peter Pepper drops a giant hamburger bun. So I'm trying to top my high score of 333,500. Chef Peter Pepper has to run up and down the ladders and across the platforms and across the different burger parts to get them all to fall and stack on the plates on the bottom of the screen. But he has to watch out for Mr. Hot Dog, Mr. Pickle, and Mr. Egg, and each one of them is worth different points when squashed. But what you want to do is stun them with pepper on the burger parts and then walk across those parts, and they will fall further down to the bottom and you'll get a lot more points. And you will get extra peppers and bonus points for ice cream cones, coffee, and fries. So, let's play. Yes! Yes! I'm on screen 8! Yes, an extra life! Yes! Yes, I made another one! Yes, I made another hamburger! 200,000 points! Yes! I'm so close! Yes, I got it just in time. Yes! Oh, I've got 275,000 points! Yes, yes, yes! Yes, I got another ice cream cone. Yes, I got 65 peppers! Yes! French fries! 78 peppers. I'm so good at this. Yes, another extra life. Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. Yes, yes, 312,000 points. Yes, 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 yes. I'm getting so close. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're all after me. Ugh, I can't believe how many lives I've got. 15. Five lives left. Gotta beat this high score. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, yes. Level 17. Yes, yes, yes. I've never been this far. Uh-oh. Mr. Pickle's coming at me. Mr. Egg's coming at me too. 325,000 points. I've got to beat it this time. I just have to. I'm so close. Yes, they're on it. Boom, boom, boom. Level 18. One of my favorite numbers. Yes! I've never ever gotten this far before. Woohoo! Yes, 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 yes. Oh no, there's Mr. Pickles all over the place. Wait a second, I already passed my high score. I'm not even paying attention. I did it! I did it! I did it! 338,000 points! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, uh-oh. Oh, wow. 338,000 points. I am a world champion BurgerTime chef. Woo! Just. Yes, 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 yes! Ah, this was so much harder than it was to top my Galaga high score, but it's so worth it. Oh man, I'm sweating so much. Ah, I gotta go celebrate. I gotta go celebrate. I'm gonna eat 4 or 5 Wendy's cheeseburgers and gonna have some Papa John's pizza and some gin bodies and lots of root beer. Woo! Oh, I did great. Well, that concludes this week's episode, and I hope that you had a great time, because we are going to have some big changes with the next episode, and I have a big preview of that big episode for next week. So have a great night or day, depending on where you are, and be fantastically chipperific. Bye. The Blue Diamond Desert is one of Earth's biggest mysteries. Join us as we dive deep into the North Atlantic in the Blue Diamond Adventure.